Commission meeting to order this time. I'll ask
Commissioner William Morris do the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the many blessings we have received, and thank you for allowing everybody to gather tonight. Please give us the strength and the wisdom to do what's best for the citizens of Harnett County. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You know how.
Mr. Chairman, we just had noticed that Hero for the Harnett County Heroes Remembrance presentation, he's either running a bit late or he may not be able to make it. If we could please move item 3 to right before new business.
You making that in the form of a motion?
I do.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, motion carries. So it'll be item, everything moves down from business only.
All right.
I'll consider any additions or deletions to the published agenda.
Move to approve the published agenda, Mr. Chairman.
So, or as amended.
As amended, okay. Is your second as amended?
In 15 minutes.
It changed it to amended agenda.
You need a second.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. All right, we have the public comment period at this point in time. We have up to 30 minutes for informal comments, allowing 3 minutes for each presentation. Speakers are requested to sign up prior to the meeting. Speakers may sign up by contacting the clerk at mdcaps@harnett.org at least 1 hour prior to the start of the meeting, or by utilizing the sign-up sheet at the back of the room. The sign-up sheet's picked up 5 minutes before the published meeting started time. So the first person up is Ms. Elizabeth Longman. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even say it. Is Ed here?
I don't see it.
You don't see him?
No, and he had requested this.
Okay.
Okay. Come on up, Ms. Long.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm here tonight to speak on our county's trajectory under the Strong Roots Smart Growth Initiative. Specifically, I want to address how we are balancing our massive industrial recruitment with the needs of our local entrepreneurs. We are seeing incredible wins with projects like the Harnett 95 Industrial Center and the $200 million Kiowa Kirin facility. This is smart growth in action. However, as we recruit these global giants, we must ensure our strong roots, our local entrepreneurs are not left behind. Though there is the Liftoff Lab program, which is fantastic, at CCCC, giving the $5,000 grant pool, that is kind of small. We are building a robust local ecosystem that is usually attracting multinational corporations. Let's make sure that our residents with a dream receive the same type of support. And of course, I want to finish off by talking about our favorite subject, the Sheriff's Department. The Sheriff's Office's current capital improvement plan allocates $620,000 for body cameras and surveillance tech. This is a vital investment in transparency. However, equipment is only as effective as the people using it. As we look toward the future, we must recognize that choosing the right leadership for the sheriff's office is the single most important factor in ensuring these taxpayer resources are used with a vision that prioritizes both modern enforcement and community trust. And that is why I support Reggie Watson for sheriff.
Thank you. Mr. Alan Longman.
Yes, hello. My name is Alan Longman at 234 Hamilton Road in Bond Level. The reason why I want to talk today is about the water supply that you have. It's still rated, I think, the third worst in the counties in North Carolina. You have a lot of chemicals in there that affect the IQ of growing students and causes cancer. And it would be better for the community overall if you were to go and filter out the water correctly so the public water is decent for consumption and to bathe in, versus having people have to have industry come and do the water supply for $8,000 or $9,000 and deal with filters and stuff. Do it at the source. People are paying for water that's supposed to be healthy, and that water that's dirty and filthy, it makes everyone sick. The cadmium levels damage the kids' IQ as they grow, and by the time they hit senior year, it's going to affect their IQ considerably, and also causes cancer. So we should address the problem as being serious and find out a way of actually paying. We'd rather pay more for water that is healthy and that can help the children develop correctly. And rather than pay for a system to do that, it would be far more money. We need a healthy system to be sold. Why are we buying water that's no good? It has to be clean. It has to fit standards. The second thing I want to talk about is education system. I keep hearing about how great things are, the education system, and the reality is it's not. They pat themselves on the back and say, oh yeah, we're doing great. You have people coming in that are paying $100,000, $200,000 a year, want to move into Harnett County. These are not people with average IQs. They're educated people working major jobs. The point is, you have a huge base of people coming in from outside the county, but outside the state, coming down here from better school systems. But your systems are not doing better. Statistically, you should be patting yourselves on the head. You should say, well, we must be getting worse. And that's really what we're talking about. Why would anyone want to bring their children here when education's so important? Would they come here for business or a job when their children are being shortchanged? And eventually they're going to probably leave and go to better areas where they can get a better education system. You don't compete well with Lee County or any of the other counties surrounding us, and you need to do so. You need to teach them critical thinking, which you don't. You teach them memorize. That's no good. You can have computers do that. They need to critically think so you don't have to re-educate them every 4 or 5 years. They can actually figure things out and grow with the industry and its changes. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Eric Stevenson.
Right. Good evening. How is everybody doing? Y'all doing all right? Good. Eric Stevenson, 100 Valley Stream Road in Spring Lake, North Carolina. And this evening, I want to connect 3 things that were previously discussed at some previous meetings: development, infrastructure, and quality of life. Because for me and my neighbors and many others that I've spoken to in Harnett County, these aren't separate issues. They all meet in one place. How well Harnett County is planning and who we are planning for. First, I support the move toward conditional zoning. With the growth we're experiencing, it's important that we have a practical tool that lets the county negotiate real protections, traffic improvements, density that fits the area, buffers, stormwater controls, and development that matches our land use plan. Growth is coming either way, but thoughtful growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when we have guardrails and follow-throughs. Second, I appreciate the progress on major projects like the water treatment planning and the work being done at the jetport. Those are big, expensive moves, and they matter. But I'm asking the board to keep tying these decisions back to a clear, transparent capital improvement plan that residents can understand. A simple public-facing summary that shows what projects are prioritized, what they cost, how they're funded, and the timeline so taxpayers aren't surprised later. This critical information should be sent to citizens of Harnett County through text messages, social media, and even video PSAs from commissioners and even county employees for television and social media. The widest dissemination possible is my opinion. As a person that has a master's degree in marketing, it's important that you mass disseminate critical information. And that brings me, and again, this is critical information, especially for our seniors on fixed incomes who feel the increase the hardest. And that brings me to my third point, caring for our seniors, because our seniors matter, and they built this county. And I want to thank the social worker that has been coming to my mother's place to sit with her a few times out of the week, because she has dementia. And I thank Harnett County for having those services in place, but we need more. And whatever that means, more money, we need more social workers that can get out into the county, because our seniors need us, especially those with dementia and Alzheimer's. And one day, that could be us, and I would love to see everything in place now and even in the future. Thank you for your time, and have a great evening.
Thank you. Mr. Seth, is it Gunderson? Gunderson.
Yes, sir.
Gunderson.
Good evening, commissioners and staff. I just want to introduce myself. Some of you guys know me, some of you don't. My name's Seth Gunderson. I own the coffee shop in Dunn that is the hub of the www.youreindunn.com fiasco. My goal being here tonight is to basically keep a constant check on what's happening with moving the probation and parole office. The public urination that we're having in Dunn is directly tied to the probation and parole office. And I've got video evidence to back that up. It doesn't occur during the nights. It doesn't occur during the weekends. It happens during business hours, Monday through Friday. Also, some of our most busy times at the coffee shop. And this is not unique to just my shop. My shop just happens to be the one with the alley closest to the probation office. So anyway, I want to introduce myself. I'm going to be here for most of the meetings going forward, just to see what's going on with this thing. But I would like to lean my support towards moving this probation parole operation to the courthouse. Ultimately, that's where it needs to be. On the third floor, wherever you could do it as a temporary thing. I'm just throwing out ideas, but it needs to happen. I don't know the specifics of the business behind the reason that the Board of Commissioners put them down there. I don't think it matters, but at this point, it was a temporary fix. That temporary fix is over, and they are not respecting the boundaries of a public business district where we have people on foot regularly. It needs to stop. This is the best way I know to stop it, and here we are. So, good evening.
Thank you. This will close the public comment session at this time. I think if you stick around, I think the county manager's got to update it when it gets to his time.
Can I ask the question?
Yes, ma'am.
What is going on with the third floor on at the courthouse?
Currently, there's nothing programmed for it. According to our CIP, nothing's been decided as to how it will be used, and no funding is currently allocated for any type of change to that location.
Ms. Barber, I think, and I hadn't said anything, but under the new business tonight, I want to talk about the third floor if you're willing to do that. Okay, if you don't mind. I'd like to have some questions about it also.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
So, I mean, when we did our space needs,
Yes.
that was something that was brought up, and I believe that this was actually one of
It was one of the
Possible
options that was
location.
considered for that location, yes.
the, that we've already had. We did some maybe look at that we've already had done.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, moving along to the consent agenda.
Motion approved the consent agenda as presented.
Motion to second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Action items, number 7A, discuss and consider a request for permission to apply for and accept if awarded a digital inclusion round 2 grant from Mid-Carolina in the amount of $18,000. Kimberly.
Good evening, Commissioners. I hope you're doing well. The Harnett County Public Library is respectfully requesting permission to apply for and accept, if awarded, a digital inclusion round 2 grant from Mid-Carolina in the amount of $18,000. The library intends to use the funding to create a Tony's Early Literacy Digital Access Initiative across all 8 Harnett County Public Library locations. Tony's are a screen-free digital platform that introduce children to literacy concepts and books using a device that allows them independent navigation of digital content. Harnett County has previously been awarded a round 1 grant from Mid-Carolina, and we are eager to apply for the second round of funding. There is not a match required for these funds, and no additional funding would be required by the county. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I move that we apply for it.
Have a motion. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item B, discuss and consider a request to approve write-offs for the Harnett Regional Water totaling $32,528.56. Mr. Burns.
Good evening, Commissioners and Manager. We're requesting to send the latest round of utility write-offs to our debt set-off program and to our online collections portal to collect on those. You had that provided in your packet, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Approved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion approved in a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item C, discuss and consider a request from Anderson Creek Emergency Services for approval by the Board of Commissioners to construct a new fire substation in the 3224 block of Shady Grove Road.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Hope you all are this evening. I brought a little backup with me to answer any technical questions, so I got Rodney with me this evening. But I'm here on behalf of Anderson Creek's Emergency Services. They're looking at building a new substation. This is going to be on property, a 1 acre parcel of land that Harnett Regional Water will donate. It piece of property is actually at the southwest treatment plant area, the buffer they just bought. It'll be in the front of that area. This substation is going to bring all of District 3 response area back into their 5-mile coverage area. That'll lower more than 700 homeowners' public protection class ratings. And currently we're contracting with West Area Fire Department out of Cumberland County for that. This will also lower their tax rate by 2 cents. Right now, West Area is 13 cents. Anderson Creek sits at 11 cents. And this area is growing rapidly. We got a housing development right next door to it that they've begun construction on. If this station is approved, they've got a cost estimate on this of $1.4 million, and they've already got financing through First Bank. If approved, we'll start the process within our office of redistricting. That redistricting will be done in July of 27 as far as being complete. That'll give us ample time to get that redistricting done and the station built. Any questions?
Will this, if this were to be approved, would this eliminate the need for West Area?
Yes, it would, sir.
Part of our county?
Yes, it will.
Thank you.
That contract will be terminated.
Thank you.
Will this be a paid?
Yes.
A paid department?
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
sure
it
will.
may not be a
It is.
24-hour paid.
Yeah. The Chief Williams has said that he will fully staff that station once it's complete. So
Are you
they're
saying
excited about it.
We're gonna do away with West Area altogether, or just in that district?
That district area.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're still gonna be in business with West Area over in where they meet Irwin and.
Yeah, right where they meet there in that 217 area. But for that large area for Anderson Creek, that's going to make a big difference.
I wanted to answer because I know I'm gonna start getting phone calls from the folks down there around Matt Lee's and
Yes, sir.
places like that.
Yes, sir. Totally understand.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank y'all.
I appreciate it.
Item D, discuss and consider a request to adopt a resolution adopting the Cape Fear Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan. That's you.
All right, me too. The Cape Fear Regional Mitigation Plan identifies all of our local policies and actions for reducing risk and future losses from natural disasters. This builds upon 5 separate mitigation plans. Probably about 10 years ago, 5 counties came together to do this regionally so that we could get this funded every 5 years by FEMA instead of having to pay for it locally. Basically, identify the hazards in all of those counties, right down to our individual municipalities. Some of the issues that we're working as far as projects to improve some of the hazards that we have are identified in this plan also too. The plan is really the big thing for us locally that this plan hits is that if we do have a FEMA declared disaster, you have to have one of these approved plans in place to receive reimbursements. And this plan's already been approved by FEMA and at the state level also. Happy to answer any questions.
Move to accept.
Have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item E, discuss and consider a contract and work authorization with Brow Construction for the construction of a new fuel farm and removal of old fuel farm at Harnett Regional Airport. Mr. Brad Abante.
Good morning. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners. Before you is a contract between the County of Harnett and Brow Construction Company Incorporated. You have already awarded the contract to them to construct and demolish our old fuel farm. Before you is the contract between the county and Brow Construction for your consideration.
Move to approve.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Item F, Farm Service Agency FSA Committee elections. Mr. Trout?
Thank you, Chairman. Received this in the mail, and we need to make a decision as to who we would like to appoint to the Farm Service Agency for their committee. 2 were listed. Last time this came to us, there was only 1, so I didn't bring it before the board. I simply checked and moved it on. But where there were 2 this time, I wanted to make sure and bring it to the board for this decision. I don't know either of the individuals, so I don't know whether you have a choice on either one, but wanted to bring this before the board for a decision.
Are either one of them serving now?
I think Mr. Pope's on one of those, something to do with the Farm Service Agency. I'm not sure
Mr.
exactly
Pope
what.
is.
What exactly do this person do? I don't quite understand it.
So this FSA committee makes, I believe, recommendations to the board, to the Farm Service Agency. So it's a sort of an advisory board to these individuals.
But just for a point of clarification, aren't both of these people running for that position? Because I got a ballot in the mail, and so did my wife. That's exactly what you're showing us here.
Right. And because of us owning land that would be considered agricultural land, we get a ballot.
So we're only voting for one. We're not appointing. We're voting.
We're voting. We're one vote as far as the whole group. We're one vote, and they'll tally them. But because we own agricultural land, we get a vote.
Well,
I don't know anything about either one of these candidates.
I know them both, and they're both fine fellows, and they're both farmers. This is one of these where I would probably go along with whatever the public votes on.
We could not send in our ballot if you didn't have a preference and have an issue, but I wasn't going to make the decision because it is to Harnett County, not to the manager.
Well, we're all going to get individual ballots at home, is that correct?
Yes, you will. Anyone that meets the criteria that the FSA sets will receive a ballot.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I make the recommendation we all vote individually at home and not vote as a board on this, because we're picking winners and losers as a board.
I'll second that. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of not doing a selection for as the county commissioner, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So we will not be making a selection.
Yeah, I got 2 ballots at home. I just got to drop in the mail.
All right, moving along to item G, Discuss and consider the purchase of the John Britt land. Mr. Trout again.
So we have been in negotiations for quite some time with Mr. Britt to purchase land that we need to have in order to extend our runway. After completing negotiations, we have agreed purchase price of $3 million for roughly 80 acres and exchanging 9.1 acres of land that the county currently owns to Mr. Britt. And we're ready to proceed with closing on that, so I need a motion to approve this purchase.
Mr. Chairman, I happily make the motion to approve this, proceed on to closing.
I second, because we've been going on
It's
this
been
for a while.
25 years.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mr. Morrison, anything else you'd like to say about it? You sure?
I'm positive.
All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item H, review application for the boards and committees.
Mr. Chairman, I know Miss Crowder, she is a realtor with Anderson Creek, real estate firm at Anderson Creek Club. She's done a good job in the past, and she's a very competent realtor. I recommend we leave her there or renew her contract.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. County manager report.
Thank you, Chairman. I have two items tonight. The first item is we received a good weather briefing this morning from the sense that they say the weather is definitely coming for the weekend. It looks very positive that we're going to have a major winter weather event. What form it ends up in, whether it's snow or ice or whatever, there's a very good chance that there's going to be impacts to our county. Emergency management is monitoring it very closely, and as we get closer, we'll know what we need to do. But we strongly advise people to prepare accordingly for this event. Loss of power is definitely an issue, inability to travel based on the road conditions. So we ask that individuals pay attention to the weather, and so we're monitoring. The impacts for us may be that Monday morning, roads are not traveled, ability to travel on the roads. So there may be a potential that we may close the offices here on Monday. The impact for us, depending on how long it goes, could impact our meeting on Tuesday that we have scheduled, and we'd have to reschedule that meeting. So we'll let you know as we get closer. We'll have a better idea on what the forecast ends up being, but we're monitoring it very close. The last item I had, besides a motion that I need at the end, is probation parole. So Mr. Coley Price and Mike Morrow have had good conversations with the Department of Corrections staff that oversee probation parole and this particular facility that's located in Dunn. Good discussions on what their needs are. They also submitted to us a space needs so that if we were to look at another facility, what their needs are. We've agreed and set up, Mr. Price and Mr. Morrow are going to meet with the same staff persons over at Dunn in their facility at 2 o'clock on Thursday to go through the issues related to the restroom concerns so that individuals that are there can look at that. They viewed the video as it relates to the individuals that were urinating. They've identified 2 out of the 10 that were actual probation parole individuals. So they know who their staff is, and they'll be passing that along regarding. So they know who was, and it wasn't the majority of the individuals that they recognized as being people within their operation. So I think at the end of the meeting, we'll have a solution immediately to the issues that relates to the plan going forward for the restroom issue. So hopefully we'll be able to eliminate the urine in the alley issue as it relates to the individuals that are coming to probation and parole. And then we'll also look at long-term needs and possibilities and different facilities for that in the future.
So what you're telling us is that somebody in authority has identified a number of these people?
Yes, they're aware of it.
Has the Dunn Police Department indicted any of them for public urination?
I believe so. That was my
Because I've not
understanding.
read that, not heard it, is the reason why I asked. But obviously, if they can identify that some of them are not probationers, then obviously they can identify who they are.
Right.
Well, can I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
I know this has been going on for quite some time now, you know. So I'm asking, do y'all have any information on where we could move these probationers?
Yeah, it's, right now that we do not have a specific site, but we're making progress as it relates to that, in that they provided us with information as it relates to the size, number of offices, number of restrooms, et cetera, that they would need in a facility. That helps because now that gives us the opportunity to look at specific buildings and qualify them or disqualify them as a potential option. Additionally, it provides us information as to that if at some point the county would want to build a building or find a location in an existing building, that gives us the information we need to know whether we have a space that's available or that could be constructed that would meet their needs.
Okay. Well, at least there's some kind of report on possibility of us moving these probationary people, because this has been going on for quite a while. I understand their plight, but, you know, I do understand, too, you got to have a building for them. So as long as we are looking and searching for something, maybe we'll come up with some kind of idea, you know, to alleviate this problem. This problem has been going on for many years now. And the reason it was those they were put over there is because the building that they were in was so dilapidated that there was nothing we could do but search for another facility for them. But now I do understand that if it's causing problems, then we need to try to search and find a solution for the problem. So I appreciate your report.
Do we have any plans for like a cold weather inclement?
I'm sure.
Because with the possible
Can you
power
come to the
outage.
microphone, Larry? They're asking about cold weather, shelters, that type of thing, options.
Well, if we get to that point out, and we feel that there's going to be a need for it, we'd reach out to Mr. Trout, of course, and get that thumbs up to get those opened up. And then, of course, our DSS staff staff those. But we look at that as we get closer to the event.
And we would staff it similar to the hurricane events.
Yes.
As far as we have dedicated
Yes,
personnel that know what they're assigned to do. If we were setting it up for a hurricane, it'll be a very similar type operation.
Thursday or Friday, depending on how this forecast gets closer, we'll make some operational decisions like that on whether we need to do something like that.
In years gone by, when it got to that point,
Yes, sir.
your office has made the decision if there was going to be significant power outages where
Yes.
it was more ice than snow.
Yeah.
And then you made the decision to open shelters.
Yes.
Is that what you're going to follow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then we are limited to the schools we can use because we got to make sure we get one that's got a generator. And our biggest issue with that right now is those generators don't typically run the heat and air systems in them. So we take that, we look at that really closely as we get closer to it.
As I remember in the past, this has happened here in this county, whether it was freezing weather or other disaster weather and
Yes.
all.
Yes.
We had somewhere for people to go.
Yeah.
So I think it's time now, not wait till something happens, but to put something in place.
Well, we'll have something together before it comes in, but what I need to get is a better forecast. Right now, we've got 15 different forecasts out there, and the National Weather Service this morning wasn't even willing to commit to a definitive forecast yet because we're too far out.
Okay.
Yeah, the three models I've seen is it may rain,
Yes, sir.
it may freeze and rain, it may snow.
That's it, and that's what
The
we're
sun
waiting.
might come up in the morning.
Thursday evening or Friday morning is when we'll have our critical update, when we really know what's going to get us. So,
And you will be letting us know, right?
yes, we will see some snow. Right now, it sounds like we're going to at least see snow.
She was saying you will let us know.
Oh, yes, you're going to get updated as we go along, like always. We sure will.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Follow your email. I'll send out updates on the email, and if something drastic comes up, I'll send out a group text to the board.
Yeah.
Don't be jinxing my snow.
What?
Don't be jinxing my snow. All right. Thank you. All right, now, if everyone wants.
I need a motion to
Mr.
approve
Chairman.
tax rebates. I'm sorry.
I make a motion to approve the tax rebates, refunds, and releases as requested by the tax.
Second.
Motion second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Now, we are going to, if everyone will stand, we'll do the Harnett County Heroes Remembrance presentation.
Cecil E. McNeil, Lance Corporal, Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medal. For heroic achievement while assigned as Assault Amphibian Crew Chief, 3rd Platoon, Company B, 2nd Assault Amphibian Battalion, 2nd Marine Divisions, 1st Marine Expeditionary Force, from 2nd August 1990 to 12 March 1991. Throughout operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm, Lance Corporal McNeil performed his demanding duties in an exemplary and highly professional manner. Upon arrival in Southwest Asia, he worked diligently to assist in the offload of 109 assault amphibian vehicles from 4 maritime prepositioning ships in a record time of 10 hours. Later, he demonstrated noteworthy perseverance as he devoted many arduous hours of maintenance in order to ensure that the vehicles were combat ready. During combat operations while driving through a cleared lane in an Iraqi minefield and under enemy artillery fire, Lance Corporal McNeil prevented his vehicle from becoming overturned when it collapsed in an Iraqi bunker. His decisive and alert actions prevented serious injuries to the embarked infantry and crew. Displaying superior technical knowledge, he completed more than 148 operating hours and 1,098 miles without serious vehicle problems. Lance Corporal McNeil's professionalism and tireless devotion to duty reflected great credit upon himself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. The Combat Distinguishing Device, Combat V, is authorized. On January 20th, 2026, your name and citation that appear on the Harnett County Wall of Heroes and will remain so forever as part of the history of Harnett County is being duly recognized for your act of heroism while serving in the United States Armed Forces. We, as a county, come together to commend you for your actions and dedication to our great nation. Thank you.
If you want to.
I'll say something real quick. The citation that she reads, like many other heroic actions, and more so than even mine, people did their jobs. And you know, it was just an opportunity that took place with no way to control it. So I thank you, and I thank the board for acknowledging. I didn't know I was going to be on tonight, so thank you for acknowledging that and acknowledging the veterans. They are my heroes. Thank you.
All right, moving on to new business at this time, and Mr. Trout, I along with the other commissioners, we're the space needs report. I was not a board member at the time, so I've never seen that, but I would like you to start the process. The third floor of the courthouse is an unused space, and I don't know who needs to go in there or what agency or what county department needs to do, but I would like for us to look at that as far as, there might be a chain reaction that by moving somebody in there and moving their space. And so I would definitely like to see that third floor of the courthouse being used. I mean, the county spent a lot of money putting that floor on the courthouse. And it's very much not being used at all. Maybe storage.
Right now, it's storage. There has been a lot of work, actually, by the departments that utilize it for storage to remove the materials that are there. I know that tax administration has removed hundreds of boxes from that location. And I know that the courthouse and the DA have been removing documents here in the last 6 months. So we're dwindling down that area as far as what's stored in there. And so I think that we're making progress as it regards to other storage locations, and it's really simply used as storage at this point.
But, Mr. Chairman, if I may, the only concern I have with it is those were projected to be future need courtrooms. Where are we at with that? And I don't want to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to retrofit those, and then turn around in 3 or 4 years, we need them for courtroom stuff. That would.
Yes, and that's the situation that we have, is there's been 2 or 3 different ideas: additional courtrooms, additional office space for DA, additional office space for clerk of court. So multiple ideas as to how the space would be utilized. So it is definitely not an item where you could decide quickly. I think it needs to be analyzed, talk to each of those organizations regarding what their needs are, and determine really what's the best use for that area.
What I would like to see is, and I'm not opposed to using that space, but a ballpark idea of what it would cost to retrofit that, including additional fire suppression and that sort of thing, and also just a good faith estimate of how long it's going to be before we need that space for courtroom space. Because I'd hate, if it worked, that's fine, but I'd hate to spend $1 million, $1.5 million retrofitting that, and then pop up in 2 years' time or 5 years' time and say we need 2 more Superior Court rooms.
We don't have Superior Court every week now, do we?
I know, that's what I'm saying, but let them come forward and say,
Well, even better than that, we don't have the funds now. I think that's what Brett reported, and we don't really have the money to do it right now. Is that not true?
Well, it depends on the cost. It depends on the cost, depending on how the renovation is done and what it's done for. But it is something that can be programmed based on our CIP and the projects that we have, and what funding we've set aside. We can look at whether or not, it may not be something we're doing this year, but it's done in 2 years. But I think probably the most important thing is there's been no decision on what we would like to do with that space. Once we know what we'd like to do with it, we can figure out the cost estimates and then put it into our CIP as a plan as to when we want to try and have it completed by, based on the needs that are identified. And so I think that's the step that really needs to happen. And that would be something that we can have as a discussion item at one of our board meetings, to sit down and really analyze the various parts, maybe even hear presentations from each of those that would like to use the space as to why they feel they're best to use that space versus another, and figure out what's the right answer for us. But it's based on the 4 years that I've been here, it's been one of those items that nobody has clear understanding of what's the best use for it. And we haven't had a discussion in the 4 years that I've been here. It's always been, that's something for the future, because we've had other needs, and it's not been a pressing need to do something with that area. But having a plan is something right now that would be good, because you do a 7-year CIP, it might be that it's year 4 or year 3 that we decide this is when we're going to renovate, based on the funding and other things that we have as priorities within the county.
Well, I think that at some point we need to put it in our CIP, so working for funding for it, because this is something that's been on the table for a long time, that third building, that third room up there.
Well,
and we don't have a lot of space here in Hunter County. So we can't sit here and think about what we're gonna need it for, because there is gonna be a need for it.
Sure. Yeah, and it was built to that level because we knew someday there would be a need of some sort within our court
Exactly.
system. Whatever that need is determined best to be. So I'll pull the space needs assessment out. We'll look at the information that we have there and look at the potential uses that have been discussed. And we can start putting together what we know right now has been discussed and what we know, and then look at the future. Maybe we can have individuals that represent each of those areas that would like to have that space present in order to be able to understand the needs that we have and then make a better decision.
I think that's a great suggestion, simply because that's the same way we did the second building over, second floor over to the social service department. So we already know that there's gonna be a need. So we just need to start preparing for funding it.
And there's actually something that is in the planning stages right now for the county that could have an impact on this as well, is that we're right now getting bids to do the renovation. Actually, it's an addition to office space for IT in order to put GIS next to the IT. That will open up space in GIS next to tax administration. One of these needs that's being discussed might be able to fit in there and take off the table as it relates to a location on the third floor. That space may work for them and they don't need to be, and so then it narrows our choices and options down to 2. So there's options that are going to come on the table as it relates to things going forward. And I'm on a no one is getting that space at this time until we figure out all the pieces that need to move as it relates to that space and other spaces within the county.
But at least we have a plan. That's what I'm real pleased about. At least you have a plan. But we gotta consider having a plan. We gotta have a plan.
Hold on 1 minute.
What did we do with that? Old board of election.
We'll talk.
All right, any further new business? Hearing none, we'll move on to, do we have a need for closed session?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board go into closed session for the following purpose: a consultation with instructions to the county legal staff in order to preserve attorney-client privilege concerning the handling of a civil matter of 25 CV 4718-420, as pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A3.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion about going to closed session? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. We're going to closed session.
This is for